I did not expect it, this moment of common ground. It slipped in quietly, like sunlight through a cracked door. While Colleen shifted in her seat, nerves written in the way she reached for her cigarette, her exit was almost a prayer. Please don't let this blow up. Because Jim and I, we don't stand on the same side of the line. He doesn't wear the badge, but you can hear it in his tone, feel it in the weight of his certainty. Republican. The word hangs in the air like a thundercloud waiting to break. But then we started talking, not shouting, not circling each other like dogs guarding bone, talking. And my mind went back to Baraboo, Wisconsin on No King's Day, a day of sun and laughter, neighbors raising handmade signs, joy stitched into the air like a banner of hope. For the first time in years, I felt the pulse of democracy, alive, human, healing. But across the street stood its shadow, a handful of counter-protesters, faces twisted, voices sharp with condemnation. One in a ballcap that read, "God let me die before I'm a Democrat." His smile, tight, brittle, dragged me back to the pews of my childhood, to the suffocating grip of a faith that wounded instead of healed. That man wasn't there to talk. He was there to sneer, to spit judgment, to wear cruelty like a crown. And yet, here was Jim, different, cut from some of the same political cloth, maybe, but not sewn together with the same thread. He didn't smirk. He didn't sharpen scripture into a blade. He listened. He wrestled. He stayed in the room. I told him how once, before Trump, I was steady in my civic duty. I voted. I paid attention. But I wasn't this merciless advocate, this soldier. Trump didn't make me a Democrat. He made me desperate to protect what was human. I admitted what I didn't know, that there are things like transgender athletes in sports where I don't have the answers, where my plate is already spilling over and all I can do is offer my gut truth. Yes, live your life. Yes, claim your body. But when strength still lingers in the bones of a body once called male, I wonder, how do we keep that game fair? Maybe a new division? Maybe something we haven't dreamed of yet? I don't know. And it felt good to say that, to name the uncertainty, to stand without pretending to have the gospel of answers. I told him, too, that I don't have time for learned helplessness, that everyone deserves to heal, but clinging to victimhood is a choice I won't carry for anyone. That's not politics. That's recovery. That's the 12 steps stitched into my skin. And something shifted. Tension cracked like ice under a spring thaw. Jim listened. I listened. For once, it wasn't about winning. It was about witnessing. The man in the ball cap and Jim are two faces of the same storm, but one scowls in certainty while the other still risks conversation. One builds walls of hatred. The other dares to leave the door cracked open. And oh, how good it felt to remember the way conversation used to be before the cult of willful ignorance, before own the libs became a battle cry, before religion was sharpened into a knife to cut down the very people it should love. For weeks now, I've been holding it close, that one conversation. Not perfect, not polished, but alive. A reminder that we are not yet too far gone, that dialogue is not dead, that sometimes, even across the fracture lines, we can still find the courage to sit at the same table and breathe the same air without choking on our differences. Colleen's relief when she came back into the room, that told me everything. We did not break. We did not burn. We built. And maybe that's the work now, to choose the hard conversations, to risk discomfort, to resist the easy severing of ties, because love is still here and it deserves so much more than silence.